What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and the stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on new videos that come out here on our YouTube channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, thanks so much for hitting the like button for us down below. In this video, we're going to be going over the fourth stimulus check. There is actually fourth stimulus checks that are approved and already passed for certain people. There's multiple different types here that we're going to be going over. I'm going to show it to you directly on the screen so you know exactly what I'm talking about, who they're approved for, and also what could be coming here in the future as well here. This is going to be a very important video. Oh, by the way, I guess the cat's out of the bag. As you can kind of see our new kitten there. Not supposed to show that quite yet, but we have a new kitten. So I'll leave that for later. We're gonna have my wife on in a future video to show you that, but don't tell anybody yet. But I'm gonna show you guys everything here on the screen so you guys can see that who's going to be receiving these checks and what is going to be coming in the future for everybody. We're going to go on a state-by-state level, who is already getting, what's proposed, what's approved, and what could be coming here for people in the future. This is a video you're going to want to watch all the way to the end and listen closely so you kind of understand what's going on, what's approved, what's proposed, and I'm going to show you it directly on the screen so you guys know exactly what is going out here for everybody and what could be going out here in the future. All right, here's our new little kitten. He wants to say hi. Say hi. Yeah, he's just a little baby, but he's real excited. Say hi. And thanks to today's sponsored Albert. The Albert app is a completely different way to bank than any other bank account you've used in the past. Albert is free, super easy to use, no overdraft fees, no checking account fees, or minimum balance. Albert also helps you save more money by looking at your account and finds where you can save more money. With the Albert app, you can get paid up to 2 days early. Plus, if you're short on cash, Albert will advance you up to $250 from your next paycheck. And you pay it back with no interest and no credit check. Best of all, with Albert, you get access to their team of geniuses. Financial experts you can lean on for help. The geniuses can help you make a plan and answer any questions if you get stuck. So check out the Albert app, and for a limited time, when you open a checking account and connect a qualifying direct deposit, you'll get $150. That's right. So click the link down below in the description box or in the pinned comment, or go to albert.com/itsjimmy to download the Albert app today. That's albert.com/itsjimmy. Again, for a limited time, when you open a checking account and connect a qualifying direct deposit, you will get $150. Okay, there's multiple different types of stimulus checks, some that are already approved and passed, and we're going to go over them now. There's state stimulus checks, there's federal stimulus checks for everybody, there's child tax credits. There's a lot of different things to talk about here, so pay attention. You're going to want to watch this all the way to the end. Okay, number one, you can see here, this is directly from CBS News. Pretty credible source. They're not Democrat, they're not Republican, they don't lean either way. They're pretty much down the road. You can see here, stimulus checks for inflation. Here are the states planning to send money to residents. This literally just came out here. This is a very, very timely article. There's a lot of different states that are sending out money here in 2022 or planning to, proposing to. Some states have already approved it here. Let's go through the list here. Then we're going to go through the federal level, the national level. There's a lot of different things going on here. Like I said, you're going to want to watch this all the way to the end. Okay, roughly a dozen states are proposing sending tax rebate checks. Remember that a stimulus check, the actual official one of the official names of it, is a tax rebate check. Okay, that's even if you don't file taxes, it's still considered a tax rebate check. Okay, to their residents to offset the highest inflation in 4 decades. Okay, some people actually could be receiving a stimulus check here on the state level and possibly on the federal level going forward, depending on what lawmakers do. With lawmakers on both sides of the aisle pointing to high gas and high food prices as prompting their actions. Among them is Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, a Republican, who just on Wednesday signed a law to send checks of up to $500 to state residents. And Georgia has over 10 million people, so I'm not exactly sure how many people are going to be receiving this check, but it's presumed to be millions of people alone are going to be receiving the Georgia check. The reason he said in a statement is to soften the impact of inflation on household budgets and also return some of the money amid a record state budget surplus. Again, so Georgia has now passed, as you can see here, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, who is a Republican, on Wednesday signed a law to send checks of up to $500 to state residents. Yeah, and that's just one state. 2 years ago, the pandemic was forecast to decimate state budgets, but instead, many states are enjoying a rebound in tax revenue due to the economic recovery. Workers are regaining jobs, bolstering income taxes, while strong retail sales are boosting sales tax. From April 2021 to January 2022, total state revenues adjusted for inflations has now increased more than 19%. And when you couple this with the third stimulus check package that was the first stimulus package passed underneath President Biden, that added billions of dollars to most states. Remember, all states got money from that. So a lot of states, if not all states, are completely flush with cash right now. And now that it's the first full year since that has passed, states are now deciding, we need to start sending this money out to our residents in different ways, shapes, and form. These checks represent one time tax rebates that will put money back into consumers' wallets. But some other states are considering or already planning to cut income taxes. Each state is deciding to do something different, providing an ongoing tax break for their residents. The tax cuts or rebate checks cut across party lines, with both Democrats and Republicans, depending on the states, joining the proposal. In Maine, Governor Janet Mills, a Democrat, wants to send checks of $850 to each resident to offset inflation. This would be a total of $1,700 for married couples, $850 each. So that would be a huge amount for a state stimulus check, $850 each. This is a proposal. This one is not yet passed in Maine. So $850 to each resident in Maine proposed to offset inflation, including high gas prices, representing one of the more generous offers on the board. Quote, the rebate will help Maine people grapple with these increased cost by putting money directly back into the pockets, the governor said. Vermont Governor Phil Scott, a Republican, has proposed returning half of their $90 million surplus in the state education fund to the state's property taxpayers with a check between $250 and $275, but the Democrat controlled legislature has shown little interest. So there is a potential check here for Vermonters of $250 to $275. We've had big news here this week on California. California Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat, said he's proposing to send direct payments of $400 per vehicle to state residents with a cap of 2 vehicles or a potential of $800 per household assuming that there's 2 adults in the household. They also said these could be sent out through debit cards, check or debit card. Either way would be fine. Also, there's some confusion here. People think they're gas cards. I don't really think they're gas cards. I think they're debit cards that you could use for anything. I think it would actually be easier to just send people a check so they don't have to use a debit card. I don't think they're gas cards. I don't think you have to use them on gas. They're debit cards. Remember that when the third stimulus check went out for $1,400, you could use that debit card. Some people actually got debit cards sent to them in the mail directly from the IRS with their $1,400 stimulus check on them. They weren't gas debit cards or anything like that. You could literally use the money for anything. So keep that in mind. Remember, last year, California sent out stimulus checks as well, state stimulus checks that went out to over 27 million people. And they have over $45 billion this year. And the governor said they're going to do something this year, whether it's going to be these $400 checks, debit cards, checks per person, $800 for a family, or if there could be a stimulus check in addition to that this year remains to be seen. But there is going to be something probably done for California. Remember, there's 27 plus million people that got it last year. There's probably going to be something this year as well, possibly even both of those. Georgia, as we mentioned, Governor Kemp signed a bill that will send rebates to tax filers who have filed returns for both 20 and 21 in the state. The state will send $250 to people who have filed as single taxpayers, $375 to the head of households, and $500 for married filing jointly. This is already passed, signed, sealed, and delivered, and will go out to potentially millions of people in Georgia. And this should be going out here soon. The state of Hawaii, Governor David Ige, a Democrat, in January proposed sending $100 to each taxpayer and their dependents, which means $400 for a family of 4. The state of Idaho, Republican Governor Brad Little in February signed a bill that includes $350 million in tax rebates. So this says it's already signed. So again, Republican Governor Brad Little in February signed a bill that includes $350 million in tax rebates, which will apply to 12% of an individual's 2020 Idaho income tax return, or $75 for each taxpayer and dependent, whichever is greater. So it looks like $75 for each taxpayer and dependent, or 12% of their individual Idaho income tax return. So it looks like $75 for each person and dependent, so $150 or more depending on if their tax return is more. So a family of 4 could receive at least $300, and this is already signed into law as well for the state of Idaho. So that's another state that has already passed. The state of Indiana, residents of Indiana will receive $125 each after they file their taxes in 2022 due to higher than projected tax revenue. So this is another state that has already passed as well for the state of Indiana once you file your state taxes as well. So another state that has already passed for the state of Indiana. The state of Maine, we already mentioned that. They want to send out $850 stimulus checks as well. The state of Minnesota, Governor Tim DeWalt, a Democrat, has released a plan for sending out state budget surplus that will include income tax rebate checks, which are stimulus checks, of $1,000 per couple or $500 per person for individuals. I know this because I just recently covered this. So this is another state that wants to send out $500 stimulus checks or $1,000 per couple. This was just announced here within the last few days. So another state announcing stimulus checks. This one has not been passed yet, but was just announced here recently. New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy, a Democrat, and the Democratic-led legislature included cash checks of up to $500 to about 1 million families as part of a budget deal last year. when the governors and lawmakers were up for election. I believe that one has already passed as well. You can correct me if I am wrong on that. New Mexico Democratic Governor Lujan Grisham earlier this month signed a law to provide $250 rebate checks for individuals and $500 for married couples, like the stimulus checks issued from the federal government during the pandemic. These come with income limits of couples with $75,000 and income limits for $75,000 for single filers. So this is for the state of New Mexico. Again, another state that has signed these into law. So $250 for individuals and $500 for married couples. This is yet another state that has passed these into law. New York Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul is proposing tax relief for New Yorkers through a $1 billion property tax rebate program. The average benefit of the property tax rebate would be about $970 for homeowners outside of New York City. I believe outside of New York City because New York City kind of has their own budget through the New York City mayor. There is also a little bit more for New York through the undocumented worker program as well. There's like $2 billion for that as well. Lawmakers in Virginia are expected to pass tax relief in the form of a rebate check, which is a stimulus check as well. Remember, you hear rebate check, it's basically the same thing as a check. Although the amount isn't yet clear, according to the local news site. Different proposals would send either $250 or $300 for each individual, and either $500 or $600 to married couples, it reported. This is for the state of Virginia. So I will keep you up to date here on that as well. As you can see, there's multiple different states that are doing this. I have a couple more here actually. In Delaware, yep, this is for Delaware. After weeks of discussion of providing some kind of economic relief to Delawareans, state lawmakers and Governor John Carney plan to use part of the state's record-setting surplus to give each resident a $300 stimulus check. Part of a $186 million plan paid out of the state's surplus would send a direct check to any Delawarean, hope I'm saying that right, that filed a 2020 tax return. They use 2020 because 2021 the filing date hasn't even come yet. So they're still doing that, impacting around 600,000 residents. This is why when I say when California does send out to 27 million people, that's how many people it's sending. The state of Delaware is going to send it out to 600,000 people, not even a million. That's why I'm not choosing California as being like the Holy Grail or anything. I'm not from California. It's just that it's so many people. It helps out a lot of people, right? 27 plus million people. But really good for all these other states doing this here as well. So Delaware is proposing to send out each resident a $300 stimulus check, which would be $600 for married couples as well. The bill is expected to be fast-tracked since it has support from Republicans and Democratic parties, and the governor has already endorsed the effort. So that is really good. I love to see that when Democrats and Republicans are working together in a state or on the federal level. We also have states that are providing stimulus programs or money back in your pocket in other types of ways, like halting the state gas tax, which does, or grocery taxes or other types of state taxes. So some states are doing this. This does cost their state hundreds of millions of dollars most of the time, $100 million, $200 million. So it's nothing to sneeze at. It does cost your state a lot of money. States are doing this right now because of the high price of gas. Typically, a state's gas tax is anywhere from around 15 to 18 cents. It's about 18 cents on the low end, anywhere from like up to 51 cents is California, and I think Pennsylvania is the highest. It's like 56 cents or something like that on the highest. But Maryland and Georgia have just halted their state gas tax anywhere from like 1 to 2 months. Connecticut just became the third state to halt their gas tax as well. And Florida also did it, but we can't really count them as like the first, second, or third state to actually do it because they're going to make their residents wait 7 months to do it. So they've passed it, but they haven't actually done it because they're going to make their residents wait all the way until October to actually do it, which has gotten a lot of skepticism and frustration to make their residents save a few bucks because they're going to make their residents wait until the month before the election when their governor goes up for re-election, which is why the skepticism and frustration because, well, you can kind of see the ploy here and why they're getting a lot of uh, criticism on it, so to see. These other states are doing this and not really getting they're not making their residents wait 7 months to, give relief to their residents, along with all these other states that are kind of passing their state stimulus checks or pausing their gas tax, right? And then next, we really have to talk about the federal level. And I mean, since we're on the topic, we also kind of got to talk about, again, I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican. So we got to kind of talk about it's an election year. It's an election year. And all these governors are passing stimulus checks. And we also could see them on the federal level as well. On the federal level, we have multiple different proposals right now on the federal level as well for a fourth stimulus check. As you can see here, new payments could come because of higher prices on everything. Unfortunately, the price of gas, not just the price of gas, even if the price of gas comes down, the price of everything, the price of food, the price of groceries, the price of cars, the price of housing, the price of, well, you name it, and it's higher. I don't, there's almost nothing that the price of anything hasn't gone up. And honestly, this is why Republican governors, Democratic governors, Republican lawmakers, Democratic lawmakers in their states are all passing stimulus checks, gas tax relief. There's actually states passing child tax credits on the state level as well. If you've been watching my show, I cover pretty much everything. Anything that could put money in your pocket, I cover it here. We cover inflation, we cover Social Security, we cover child tax credits, we cover anything. Literally money, investing, finance, we cover it all here on our YouTube channel. And well, stimulus checks are it as well. And it's an election year. So whether or not you believe that some lawmakers may pass stimulus programs because it's an election year, well, who knows? It's a very real possibility. Now, the third stimulus check was passed last year, right after Biden was elected and the Democrats were elected, and it really wasn't an election year because they were just elected, and it was still 2 years away from the next election. Biden still got 3 full years until he's reelected. Could they pass another stimulus check because it's an election year, or are they more likely to? Who knows? That really is up to your beliefs, but it is a very well likelihood. But we're also seeing all these states pass stimulus checks to help their residents, whether they do it out of the good of their hearts, whether they do it because people are hurting. It really doesn't matter. What really matters is that people are hurting right now. There's about 63% of people, according to studies, that are behind on their bills or living paycheck to paycheck. And really, that was before the inflation really started to rage on and is at a 40-year high. And it's going to be even worse now due to what has happened here in March. And really, we have multiple different proposals here from on the federal level, on the national level, from Congress, all from Democrats. Democrats are in control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency right now. And what could this lead to? Well, here's a couple of the proposals that have just come out. Number one, House Democrats have unveiled a plan to send $100 monthly gas checks, which is really stimulus checks. You don't have to spend it on gas, but nonetheless, they're saying it's because of the price of gas. This would be $100 per person per month, or $1,200 over the course of 12 months per person. Okay. So if you have two adults in the family, it would be $200 per month or $2,400 per year. And it would include children. So if you have one child and two adults, $300 per month. If you have two children and two adults, which is what the average family is, it would be $400 per month or over the course of 12 months, it would be $4,800. Okay. Similarly, which is kind of more on a flat basis, which I like a little bit more, is the $300 per month plan. Okay. And again, the easiest way to probably send this out would be just through checks. Okay. We have some gimmicky things where you can kind of just disregard this gasoline vouchers. Honestly, I don't think they're going to try to send out vouchers of any type. It's just too difficult for them to implement. They're probably just going to send out the money the same way they sent out stimulus checks from the first, the second, and the third stimulus check package, and the same way they send out money via the child tax credits. Okay. And that is just they direct deposit it, they put it on your card, they send it to you in the mail, however you are set up for payments from the government. Same thing, you get your tax rebate checks, you get your stimulus checks, you get your IRS refunds. It's the same way you get money from the government now, would probably be the same way you would get this type of money. Okay. Same way you got your last stimulus checks would probably be the same way you get this plan, $300 per month, depending on how they do it. If they do it per person or per adult, it could be a potential $600 per month, which if you have two adults, that would be $7,200 per year. That's a lot. A lot of people don't quite realize how $300 per month is $3,600 per year. That's actually $3,600 per year is actually more money than all three stimulus checks combined. Stimulus check one was $1,200. Stimulus checks two was $600. If you combine those two, that equals $1,800. And stimulus check three was $1,400. The $1,800 and the $1,400, when you combine those, that equals $3,200. So a year worth of $300 per month would equal $3,600. So a lot of people don't really realize that monthly checks really start to add up, and that would be more money on a monthly basis for a year than all three stimulus checks combined. Just for one person, let alone for two people, would be $7,200. So keep that in mind. If any type of monthly check goes through, it's a lot of money. And don't forget as well, $300 per month, which for children under the age of 6, which was actually $3,600, or 3,600, yeah, 3,600 for the year, and $250 per month for children ages 6 through 17. Mitt Romney and the Republicans actually have unveiled a bill that would be more money. It would be $4,200 for children under the age of 6, 5 and under, which would actually be $4,200 per year or $350 per month, which would be the child tax credits. So honestly, there's so many different types of stimulus checks. There's the child tax credits. There's a fourth stimulus check that could be just a one-time payment of $1,400. It could be these monthly checks like these, or it could be these state stimulus checks that a lot of states, as we literally showed you right here on the screen from CBS News, a lot of states have already approved these, and in some states are already sending them out or in the proposal stage. So some states are going to be literally sending these out here now, or some people may have already gotten them depending on what state you're in. But on the federal level, they could literally pass legislation for a fourth stimulus check this upcoming week if they wanted to. So I will keep you up to date here with everything you need to know about on money and stimulus checks, state level, federal level, child tax credits, Social Security raises, anything you need to know about. So make sure you don't miss out on any new videos here on our YouTube channel. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I always show you things right here on the screen so you can see it with your own eyes directly from credible sources. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel down below. It's completely free to do so, and this way you won't miss out on new videos. After clicking the subscribe button down below, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you get reminders when we go live with new videos. And don't forget to visit our sponsor down below, Albert, where you can sign up with them directly and potentially get up to $150 with them when you connect a direct deposit with them. So thanks for watching, guys. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And you can click here to see my new video I just did about Social Security raises coming here soon as well. So click on one of those videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.